Hello everybody, Bruce here with a short video on a two-column fluid layout. In a prior video, I showed you how to do a fixed layout using a set of tags and some CSS. This layout here is going to be fluid, and you're saying to yourself, Bruce, that looks exactly the same as the other one. But let's take a look at it. I don't have the blue background anymore, but I do. Watch this. See this? As I resize the window, can you see what's going on? Let me do that again for you. You see what's happening? The main and aside areas are fluid. They're changing size. They're changing size. They're said to be fluid. Now, if I go too small, just so you know, it will... no, there it is. It works. So see that? Everything is fluid. Okay. Now these layouts are good, but they're not what we call responsive web design. We're going to be doing that in a future module. It's coming up fairly soon. But just know if you need a simple layout to work this way, you can use a fluid layout. So let's look at the code. The code is the same as before. At least the HTML is. All right. By the way, you can download this. It's right here. Download the code. Two-column fluid. Okay? And I actually have another one here in a second I'm going to show you. So let's go to the CSS because that's where the magic happens. Now, the only differences here are going to be in the main, where instead of a width, right, we still have a width here of 90%. So the body is said to take up 90% of the browser, and you can see that right here. See, it's taking up 90% of the browser width. The where are you? The main is taking up 66% of the browser window, and it's floated left. And the aside is another percentage, right? It's 33%, and it's floated right. So watch what happens. Okay, this is very interesting. So 34%, which is 100%, it kind of breaks. You see that? Because there's other things going on here. So it's not an exact science like the pixel stuff is, right? So that's how you do, right? You set the width of various elements, in this case the main and the aside, which are floated left and right respectively, right? Using a fluid layout. So the next thing I want to show you, let me see if I can find it here. Let's go back to layout. This is my stuff. Let's see. Fluid aside fixed. Let's see if it's this one. So let me bring it up. Yeah. So okay, this is cool. So the HTML is exactly the same. It's the CSS where we're making these changes. So now, right, I want the main to be flexible. So 62.5% width. The again, we're at 90%. Okay, width. By the way, I know some of you are asking, what happens if you make that 100, right? If you make that 100, it takes up the full browser width. If I make it 70%, right, it's going to take up 70%. But it breaks over here. So yeah, that breaks. So because the yeah. So let's go back to 90%. Let's go to the main, 62.5%, and look at the aside. The aside is a fixed width. So when I resize this is why it broke before, by the way. Look what happens. So the aside, right? See, it gets a little the main, right, is kind of the main is being fluid, and the aside is a fixed width of 350 pixels. Okay, so you saw the issues that I'm running into here, and again, I'm going to show you how to do proper responsive web design. So I like to have fixed width layouts or fluid ones that I can control. Okay, so that's that one. So I showed you two layouts. One was the what do you call it? floating two-column fluid layout. That's where both columns resize depending upon the browser width. And then I showed you having the main be, what do you call it, fluid, where it can change its width, and the aside was a fixed width. All right. So yeah, so I just want you to see how that works. Okay, that's it. Take care.